Oh my gosh, 5 years ago when I bought my first RV for camping, I felt like I was taking a gigantic leap of faith. There I was, standing in front of the camper that I wanted to buy, thinking that I was ready to embark on adventures of a lifetime. Little did I know, it was more like entering a world filled with surprises. I love this. Hi, I'm Randy, and every Thursday I help you make big memories in small campers. Well, I have to tell you, I had absolutely no clue how much my life was about to change the day I bought my camper. I'll tell you more about that coming up, but if you're trying to decide if RV ownership is right for you, let me help you out with 12 good reasons why you should not buy an RV for camping. I've got my fingers crossed for you that after you hear these things, that you still decide to take the plunge and take the leap of faith like I did. Number 1, you should not buy an RV for camping if you don't have a go with the flow type of personality. Here's the thing, RV camping comes with its fair share of surprises. Anything from sudden weather changes to unexpected detours, and your RV camping trip can take unforeseen turns. Picture this, you're super pumped for your upcoming RV camping weekend trip, but guess what? Mother Nature decides to throw you a twist, and suddenly your picture perfect weekend turns into a soggy, rainy, or stormy adventure. If you're somebody that can't roll with the punches or find joy in unexpected twists and turns, RV camping might lead to a few more surprises than you're bargaining for. Number 2, you should not buy an RV for camping if you can't embrace minimalism, at least for a weekend. RVs or travel trailers, especially the small ones, despite their charm, do have limited amount of space. If the idea of leaving behind all your favorite gear and gadgets feels like a tough pill to swallow, camping in an RV might present a bit of a challenge. In the RV world, it's not about how much you can bring, but it's all about how much you can leave behind. And this took me almost a full year to grasp. I would always try to bring everything with me, including the kitchen sink. Number 3, you should not buy an RV for camping if you can't tolerate bugs and nature's creatures. If the idea of sharing your outdoor space with 6-legged creatures gives you the heebie-jeebies, then RV camping life might not be for you. Nature is beautiful, but it does come with winged and crawling creatures. I remember the one time I almost stepped on a snake, and snakes definitely give me the heebie-jeebies. I was so frightened and I was so startled that I let out a really big scream. So I'm sure I scared away all the critters that were around me. Coming up is number 4, and it's a biggie. But first, let me know, what is the creature or critter that you absolutely, positively don't want to run into when you're out camping? Number 4, you should not buy an RV for camping if your schedule is not RV friendly. Most people do their RV camping during the summer months, which makes sense. But it always seems like the summer months are always packed with other things going on, and these things can interfere with your precious camping time. This, and being able to take enough time off of work, can sometimes make it hard to find enough time to go camping. My 3 daughters are grown and out of the house, so I'm able to go camping most every weekend. But if they were still living at home, I'm not so sure that there are too many weekends that I would have free to go camping. Also, as a YouTuber who makes videos about camping in small campers, I can work when I'm out adventuring, but my hubby Tom has a physical job that he has to be at. But fortunate enough for us, he gets enough time off that we can take 2-week camping trips each year. But we're also real close to retirement, which brings up another point. If you're also close to retirement, this might be the perfect time to buy an RV for camping, so you have enough time to get familiar with everything, so when retirement comes, you're ready to hit the road. The bottom line is this: be realistic about the amount of time that you're going to have to go RV camping. If you're only going to have enough time to go camping occasionally, then the investment of an RV might not be justified. Renting or borrowing one might be more cost effective. Number 5, You should not buy an RV if you're a clean freak. If the mere idea of dirty floors drives you a little crazy, the RV camping lifestyle might drive you a little bananas, like it did for me, because this one hit home for me. Now, I never really considered myself a super clean freak, but oh boy. Oh my gosh, that was really dirty. RV camping had a surprise for me because I was not expecting how quickly my camper would get dirty. And the floors were mainly my problem. I felt like I always had my broom in my hands as mud and dirt and leaves always seemed to be constantly drug inside my camper. Between my husband and me coming and going and our dog, yeah, a lot of dirt got drug inside. But over the course of time, I've learned that bringing some of this dirt inside is just part of the experience. And I've kind of learned just to go with the flow. And now my philosophy is simple. If there's a little bit of dirt on the floor, it's just a testament to a good adventure. Oh, and I also found a great rug that collects and hides a lot of the dirt. If you're like me and want to make your RV camping life easier, gotta watch a previous video I did where I share everything about this rug and some of my other favorite things that do make RV camping life easier. And I'll leave a link to that video in the video description below. Number 6, you should not buy an RV if you're not open to being spontaneous. Here's the thing, RV camping life is definitely going to be throwing you some curveballs. So if this makes you feel uncomfortable, well, RV camping might not be your thing. There might be times when you pull into your campsite and it's so unlevel that you can't even set up your RV. Or I've even pulled into campsites where I'm like, I don't want to camp here. These situations are gonna happen. While we're on the subject of being spontaneous, I want to share something with you. I always thought that I was kind of a spontaneous person, but I truly feel like I found my spontaneous side after I bought my camper. Not only have I done things that I've never done before in my life, like hiking and kayaking and just spending time out in nature, but I found myself willing to take unplanned stops and go hiking on off the beaten path trails. And some of these times have turned into some of my most memorable moments. But I gotta tell you, in the past couple years, I've really upped my spontaneity game by hitting the road without campground reservations. I've been spending more time boondocking and camping in remote locations where you can't make a reservation, and this has opened up a whole new world of adventures for me. Are you ready to discover your spontaneous side? Number 7, you should not buy an RV for camping if you're unwilling to learn the ins and outs of RVing. I was really surprised the first time I tried to back my camper up into a campsite. Let's just say that backing up was a bit of a puzzle for me. It's not as easy as it looks. Well, at least it wasn't for me. And towing a camper down the road is different than just driving a car. While doing these things aren't hard, if this is your first time ever doing any of these type of things, then it will take some patience and some practice and the willingness to learn. But when you do master the art of backing up into a campsite or mastering any other challenges you might face, it feels so good because you know that you're going to have more exciting adventures ahead of you. Number 8, you should not buy an RV for camping if you don't want to be disconnected even for a moment. RV camping life might not align with your connectivity needs because all adventures come with the potential of not having a cell service or having very limited cell service. And the first few times this happened, I struggled a little. I thought it was kind of crazy how dependent I had become on my phone. But now, I don't mind going a couple of days without using my phone. Truth time, how many days can you go without using your phone? Let me know. Oh my gosh, number 9, you should not buy an RV for camping if you're not a planner. RV camping life might pose a challenge if you don't like planning when and where you're going to be 6 or even maybe 12 months ahead of time. RV camping, while at times it can be spontaneous, also demands strategic planning because today, more than ever, campgrounds fill up really quickly, especially during peak seasons. like summer. And I gotta tell you, I've just been dealing with a lot of frustration trying to book my upcoming summer camping reservations. Several of the campgrounds that I want to camp at are reservable on recreation.gov, and you can make a reservation 6 months in advance from your arrival date. Well, last week I was prepared and I was ready to make my reservations, but because a lot of people were arriving earlier than the date I wanted to arrive, there were only a couple of campsites available. So there were several mornings at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time sharp. I had my computer out, I had my campsite in my cart, and all I needed to do was hit the reserve button exactly at 9 o'clock. But when I hit the button, I got a message that said, "This is a popular site, and unfortunately, someone else has reserved it for those dates." So, even though I had done a lot of planning, I couldn't make reservations on the dates that I wanted to be there, so it was back to the drawing board for me. Now, I've been doing this long enough that I do have a couple of tricks up my sleeve when this happens. I'll leave a video playlist that will explain everything you need to know about where to camp and what to do when campgrounds are full. And I'll leave a link to that playlist in the video description below. Number 10. You should not buy an RV for camping if you don't currently own a suitable tow vehicle or you don't want to buy one. All RVs need a trusty sidekick, and that sidekick is a tow vehicle. Picture this scenario. You found the perfect camper and it meets all your requirements. You should not buy that RV if you don't currently own a vehicle that can safely tow it, or you're unwilling to buy one that can. This is so important because both your RV and your tow vehicle are the key to having safe travels. You never want to tow an RV with a vehicle that's not rated for the size and the weight of that RV, no matter how small the RV is. When I did my research about my tow vehicle, there were a lot of terms thrown around that I had never heard before, like GVWR and tongue weight. And so this was confusing for me. That's why I also did a previous video that breaks things down in easy to understand terms. And I did this in hopes that it'll help you understand what your vehicle can safely tow. So if you're interested in watching that video, I'll also leave a link to it in the video description below this video. Number 11, you should not buy an RV for camping if you don't want to deal with toilet things. That is, if you buy a camper or an RV that has a bathroom or a toilet. Yep, RV camping does bring you closer to nature, and that includes some of the not so glamorous side of things, like dumping the tanks that contain the waste from your toilet with a hose. For the first couple of years, my husband dealt with all of this, so I never really gave it much of a thought. But when I started doing some solo RV camping, I had to do this myself. And for the first few times, I wasn't having a good time. But now, piece of cake, it's just another part of the adventure. Number 12 is the biggest mistake that I made when I bought my first camper, and looking back, it was really a silly mistake, and I want to share that with you because I want you to avoid buying an RV that you're going to regret purchasing. But before I get into that, I want to quickly let you know how RV camping has truly changed my life. And I want to share this with you because my hope is that you get to, or you want to experience some of the same things that I've been able to do. And I have to chuckle to myself because 5 years ago, when I took the plunge and the leap of faith to buy my first RV, I had absolutely, positively no concept of just how much it would reshape my world. Prior to buying my RV, every year my husband and I, we would plan a trip, and these were mostly places that we had to fly to. We went to Mexico and we went on cruises, but now I feel like I can go on vacation any weekend that I want, and my experiences and my adventures are like night and day. The truth is, some of the most remarkable and some of the most truly extraordinary places that I've been to when I've been camping have far exceeded when I traveled. Oh, Thor is coming to visit. I'm just telling him a story, Thor. And I gotta tell you, this has really surprised me because one of the most significant changes for me has been a deep connection with nature. RV camping in my small camper has taken me to some really breathtaking places, including a mountaintop, literally. And these are places that I never would have been able to experience if I had never bought in my Little Guy Max camper. I have so many unforgettable stories that I'm so grateful for. Oh, you want to get down? You want to get down? Okay. When I get to spend time out in Mother Nature, I really, really appreciate the time that I've got left on this beautiful earth that God made for us to enjoy. So while I made this video about all the reasons why you shouldn't buy an RV, my hope is that you do buy an RV so you can experience and make your own memories. Number 12, you should not buy an RV for camping, and this one's important, if you don't spend enough time in it before you make your purchase. Yep, the first RV I bought was really disappointing. Yes, I'm 100% team small camper, but my husband and I, we took it a little too far, at least for us, when we made that first purchase. Can you imagine how we felt? We were so excited. We got our first RV. We want to hit the road, and when we did, oh my goodness, we realized we had made a big mistake. Of course, this was my own personal experience and it may not apply to everyone. But if you don't want to take the chance on making the same mistake that I did, you need to watch this video up here next for all the nitty-gritty details. Well, that's a wrap, and I can't wait to see you again next Thursday.